So you told me after yesterday's show that you are also sick.
I did.
I'm sick as well. But we're doing the
Everyone
show.
is, but
We're
we're both
doing the
here.
show. We are
Great.
here. We got to talk about Blue Owl. We got to talk about Oracle. We got to talk about the data centers. Why did Blue Owl back out of this deal?
Yeah, so Blue Owl decided not to invest in an Oracle project in Michigan. They weren't in a period of exclusivity and they hadn't agreed to invest, but they looked at the deal and they said, hey, this project is not for us. We're going to pass. And that has sort of sent a shock throughout the industry because Blue Owl has agreed to fund some other Oracle projects that are for OpenAI. And so now people are sort of wondering, what did Blue Owl see that they didn't like? And what I heard from sources yesterday was that the terms on this specific data center, when it came to the lease signed at the data center, and the debt terms that people are talking about were not as attractive as previous deals that Blue Owl had participated in. So they decided not to do this one. And then I've also heard that Blue Owl is a little concerned about potential delays at this site related to the local community there. And so, they did their due diligence and decided not to fund this data center. There are plenty other data centers out there, but this sort of puts into question: are other people looking at this deal also going to decide not to invest in it?
So, how big a hole was this for funding for Oracle? And could you anticipate another player coming in to fill the gap?
Based on what I can tell, and like historically how Blue Owl will do these data center deals, if they were to invest in this size of a project, it probably would have been around a few billion. And so they wouldn't be taking the majority of the likely $10 billion site. But a few billion for Oracle is a big deal if they don't have someone else lined up. We did see the Financial Times report that Blackstone was in talks to invest. But at a project of this scale, you would likely need a consortium of investors.
Now, how is progress for this data center going, broadly speaking, on the ground?
Yeah, yeah. Just to catch you up, the construction isn't set to begin until 2026.
Okay,
So
so we're
that
st we're still a ways away then.
Yes, but it's still a 1 gigawatt potentially site for OpenAI, and, Oracle has been moving all of these projects along very quickly, and honestly, the construction is not gonna start until the financing is lined up. So, the finance side of it definitely has to be figured out very soon. Oracle does say that they're still on schedule and that the Blue Owl decision is not delaying anything for them, but, they definitely need to find people to back this project.
And so, I'm wondering how big a deal this is in terms of uniqueness. Is this something that happens often? Because we looked at the stock reaction. I know Oracle is very jittery as it is, so any news can sway investors. But is this happening in the background more often than we think?
It is happening in the background more often than we think and than what is reported. If we reported every time Blue Owl or Blackstone or BlackRock
Changed its
said
mind and said,
no to
"Hey,
something,
maybe not."
then then that would be crazy. But I think, the market reaction yesterday, Oracle was down 5%, is sort of symbolic of the moment that we're in and how much concern there is about Oracle's ability to keep raising funds to meet its commitments. They released in their 10K recently that they have multi-year lease commitments of almost $250 billion. So we're definitely waiting for the math to make sense and all of these projects to be funded. And I was also talking to a data center executive yesterday who said he's trying to raise money for something related to Oracle, but lenders are saying they're too exposed to Oracle. So some are backing out. And it's not because it isn't a good project or that they're not a good operator. It's just there's a lot of Oracle data center out there. And I think that's why the market is seeing this Blue Owl news and reacting the way they did.
Great. Well, Anissa, I want to thank you for coming on. That is Anissa Gardizy, our cloud and compute reporter here at The Information.